Hello everyone, how's it going today? So, we are working on the Lion Knight's castle. You can see much of it right here in the image in the lower right-hand corner. Of course, it doesn't quite fit, but, you know. So we finished half of it, we're working on the second half. Howdy, Bahamut Zero, how's it going? Alright, so we are just getting ready to start bag number 17. So let's go ahead and do that. We got a big bag here, and we got a little bag here. So let's go ahead and start that out. Before we do, let's take a quick look at what we've done so far last time. So we've got part of the moat here, getting work started on this tree section here. And we got a little cave area here that's going to connect in with the forestman part underneath the castle. And over here we have a... Oh, there goes the cloth I have here. Stairways leading down to a little dock. And a postern gate, a little brown froggy. It's only connected by one hinge right now, so it's a little bit fragile. But we got the treasure chamber back there, which also includes a drum and a bell. Don't question it. Had a headache much of the day? Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's go ahead and start out by opening up our bags. We got another small bag there. Let's go ahead and get this up there. There we go. We got some angled door frame pieces here. And the cell doors. Let's go ahead and move the large plates off to the side, as well as the door frames. We don't need those. And the cell doors themselves. We'll pull those in when we need them. Alright. Let's grab the smallest bag here. Get that open. Dragon Quest has an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, it really does work well. Good music, good fun. Alright, and we got some skeleton parts as well. Because clearly, if you're going to have a cell, you know, you want the prisoners to know what's in store for them. Okay, so we got a minifig to build to start. Another forestman. Here's his hat. There's his legs and torso. There's his head. And a feather. Alright. So it's not quite the original forestman torso. It's more detailed. But it very much is similar in appearance. The only downside is that we only get red. Red sleeves and red collar. We don't get blue, which is a shame. Or black, for that matter. And this one is a forest lady. I didn't notice that. Also, she has a quiver of arrows. Finally got a wandering trader in Minecraft after waiting for one for many, many Minecraft days. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes you'll just, like, get one after the other, and then sometimes it'll just be forever between visits. And we'll go ahead and get a feather in her cap. There we go. We got our forest lady. Got a little bit of a smirk to her. Go ahead and put her by horse. A little bit off screen. There we go. Get her back on. A cannot breed the llamas that the Wandering Trader brings with. I'm actually not surprised. Okay, we are immediately using the door frames here. And the doors... Okay, one is going to go on that side, so... Let's get the door on, and... A dark brown 1x1 cylinder plate for the doorknob. Get that slid in there. There we go. And going the other way on the other side. These are really tiny cells. There isn't even like a bed inside. I'm sorry. I am coughing quite a bit. Okay, got those in. Next up, we need... Alright, we need an arch over here. Half arch. Gray corner brick right there. 1x2 dark gray plate. You need llamas, you can't find llamas, so you'll just wait for the trader? Oh, yeah. I am not terribly surprised that that does not work, though. Alright, so we need a 1x4 brick corner. Some more water. Another corner, and I need a wedge brick. Where's a wedge brick? There you are. And a 1x2 brick right there. Alright. There's a 1x1. Oh. I see. Goofed up a little bit. One by one right there. And that goes right there. Let's set all of that back. Alright. Uh, 1x6 gray plate over here. And I need the Technic brick with a plate behind it for right there. Alright, brown inverted slope and a 1x2 brick there. And is that it? That is it. Alright, 4x4 plate with a cutout, and that is going right there. . 2x6. 1x1 brick there, and we get the shorty brick right there. The dual inverted slope with two 1x2 plates. Llamas were probably neutered. Yeah, I imagine so. It makes sense, though. You wouldn't want them breeding as they're, as you're traveling around. All right, another 2x6 brick there, and a 2x3 brick. 1x4 here. I do not know why I am having a lot of coughing. Let me close my window. That might be part of it. Alright, corner brick there. Inverted slope and corner slope. Where are you? There we go. Thinking of going on a Minecraft village or a trading spree to get some blocks that you need? You have so many emerald blocks, like 14 stacks of emerald blocks? Jeez. That is quite a few. Quite a few. Alright, anything else that we need to put on here? Doesn't look like it. Alright. Alright, two 2x8 plates. And that goes right in between here. Let's see. 1x6, and need 2 of the angle plates, the original angle plates, bricks. Same difference. There we go, and there we go. And a single inverted slope right here. There we go. Alright, and 2 short inverted, 2 short half arches, right there and there, followed by a 1x16 brick right behind them. Alright, 4x4 plate and 2 wedge plates. There we go. Anything else? Nope, that looks like it. Okay, so we need a gray 1x3 brick right here. One by 4 plate. A ball and socket joint. 1x2 plate. The ball joint piece. And another gray 1x4. 2 dark brown 1x1 cylinder plates. And then 2 gray 1x4 plates. There we go. And that is going to go right here. Very interesting way of doing that. You've been saving the emeralds for the wandering trader, and farmer and librarian villages are good for getting lots and lots of emeralds. Yeah. Especially the farmers. I went on a farmer trading spree today myself during the stream. Okay. 1x12. Get the 1x... Actually, it's 1x10. 1x6 tile on top, and the 2 1x4 half tiles. There we go. Okay. And a 1x1 with a clip on the side. There we go. That lad's seen one too many days in our dungeons. Let's go ahead and make our friendly neighborhood skeleton. How impenetrable is this castle in the LEGO universe? Pretty impenetrable. Honestly, the only real way to get in would be... Well, there's some secret passages, so... but setting that aside... there's not too many ways in other than, like, scaling the walls with ladders. Okay, and then we get to 2 torches as well. There we go. Tiny torches. Helps if I get the right part in the right way. Get that in there. And get that in there. Alright. And let's get our friendly neighborhood skeleton inside. There we go. Poor fellow's been in there a little bit too long. It's like the CK2 event where you forget about the supposed murderer, and it wasn't even the guy. I hate that event, though. They should add water horses to Minecraft that sit underwater and turn hostile when you accidentally run into them. Yeah, the reason why I don't like it is that it's a Schrodinger's event where both things are true until you make a choice. Like, he is the murderer and he is not the murderer until you make a choice as to whether he is the murderer or not. Whether you believe him. And once you make that choice, then he either is the murderer or is not the murderer, depending on the opposite of what you think it's going to be. And that's why I don't like it. Because if you assume there's no evidence, then he is the murderer. And if you're like, well, he's clearly guilty, throw him in the dungeons, he's clearly not the murderer, and by the time you discover the truth, he is dead. In CK3, you keep forgetting prisoners without events. We got a lot of little bits of greenery on this wall. This little wall that we are making. Alright, 1x4. And a 1x4 tile. There we go. And that fits on here. I assume that is going to go all the way over there. Alright. Next up, we build some tree parts. Alright, we're using 2x2 cylinder bricks with Technic holes. There's another 1x2, and then a 2x2, and another half cylinder. And then we get a dark gray friction half pin. And a black horn in there. Long curved horn. And another 2x2 up here, and another half friction pin here. Alright, and that fits on right there. Howdy, Fargano. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Alright, 1x2, 1x3 in black. So the 1x2 goes right there, 1x3 right there, and the wedge right there. There seems to be a trick in this cell. I shall have to talk to her ladyship to make sure it's properly sealed. So it doesn't go all the way back. Oops. Let's not have that turn. So we've got a sliding door so that someone trapped in that cell can escape. Alright, next up, 2x3 and an inverted slope. 2x6, I'm sorry. Maybe her ladyship has to escape the castle in case of an assassination attempt of her entire line. I don't think that this is Crusader Kings. A properly sealed cell sounds like a mission for a Manor Maiden and Muttman. I don't know that they'd be very good. Alright. There's a 1x2x2 slope, 1x2 a Technic brick, a dark red cylinder for some reason. I mean, a trans red cylinder. I don't know why. You were referring to the opening of Oblivion. Ah. I have not played Oblivion, so I don't know. Didn't know. Okay. 1x2x2 brick. And another inverted slope. Who cares if they're any good? It sounds like a mission for them anyway. Wow. There we go. And 1x1 brown Technic brick. Friction pin. And a single spacer piece. Also, green foliage right there on the wall. 1x3, 1x2x2, 1x2x2 slope, and a 1x3 slope. You do need to play more CK2. It's just fun to see what random stuff can happen. I agree. I agree with that. And then we get a pair of tile slopes. And that clips on right there. Alright, so you have to open that, and then you can slide the door. And it does not slide if this one doesn't open. But you can also close it by pushing that one. Alright, let's get some of the flooring in here. Okay, let's see, we get wedge plates over on the side. 6x8s. And, oops. 1x8 and 2x8. Alright, next up. 2x6 dark gray tile right there. The 4x8, let's put that on in a second. Let's get the, oops. 1x6 plate there. The wedge. Another wedge. And the 4x8 right there. Okay. And that is going to lead to bag number 18. And we have a spare black horn. So let's go ahead and put that away. Also, considering that the that Moobot just posted about the DeLorean, as a note, I goofed up on the goal amount, so we've actually hit the goal for the DeLorean. I goofed up on that, so I will be closing that one out as soon as I get a chance and starting up a new goal. All right, so bag number 18. We do have a small bag as well as a large bag. Yay for hitting the goal amount, indeed. Christmas Village, here we come. As much as I want that, I may put that off because it'll be around for a couple years. Probably 2 to 3. And I'm more inclined to get some sets that are being discontinued or that have already been discontinued. Go aftermarket for a few things that I would like to get that I missed. Yep, there we go. Alright, let's see. Alright, so 1x4 brick over here. A shorty brick right there. Which I think is off. Not quite off. It's going to get off, so let's do that. Saturn V is neat. I already own a Saturn V, though. That was actually a re-release. That Saturn V that's being discontinued. And I got the original release. It's the exact same. There's rumors that they will be doing another NASA set. There is also the Apollo lander that I wouldn't mind getting. But I'll be looking at the discontinued sets, the ones that are being discontinued and the retired. And the ones that have already been retired to decide what I want. Not a rogue AI. That is a hope of mine. That is a hope of mine. Obviously not all LEGO, just the stuff that I build on stream. Go. Alright, 2 bricks over on this side. 1x3 and 1x4. And another 1x3 here. Yeah, the Apollo lander, that's, I would like to get that. It'd be nice if they made a, It'd be nice if they made a command module to go with it. A gear? What sorcery is this? Alright, Technic brick. There is the gear. Where is the Technic pin? It is beige. So let's grab that. Go. We need a clip there and a 1x1x3 brick right there. 2 1x3s. Is the gear made of metal? No. It's not a Metal Gear. Alright, slot in the, side of the, arrow slit there. There we go. Need a 3 and a corner brick. And another brick. Right there, 1x4 on this side. There we go, 2 corner bricks. Or 2 bricks, I should say. Get the hinge. There is part of it. There is the other part. There we go, got 2 hinges now. How about an Apollo 13 model after the fact? I mean, you could make it. If you get a command module, you can easily make it. Let's see, a 3 and a 4. Another 3. 2 1x2 plates and 2 shorty bricks. There we go. 1x3, 1x3. Nothing there in the middle. Another brick. 1x3 and a clip right there. "'Tis nae sorcery, 'tis horsery, methinks." Ah. Horse doesn't approve. Make sure horse is showing up there. Let's get you so that you're not reflecting. There we go. It's not exactly morbid, but it's also, I don't think it's exactly in good taste for LEGO to do that. I mean, again, you can make one of those yourself if you want. There's nothing for horse to stare into. I mean, until you pass, your soul's inside you. Alright, let's get a slope there. Dark gray 1x1 bricks. Right there and there, probably for a passage. 1x4 plate and 1x2 plate. There we go. 1x4 brick. 1x4 brick over on that side, and... Alright, 2 Technic bricks with pins, and we get the spacers. These spacers are going to be a lot of fun to get off. You think you sold your soul for a cookie in high school? Alright, another pair of 1x1s on top of those 1x2s. There we go. Alright, we got another pair of the side stud pieces. Where's the other one? are you? There you are. Get you there, and get you there, and then 2 more dark gray 1x1s. Alright, 1x3 brick. 1x2 plate. 2x2 brick. Where are you? There you are. And an angled corner brick right there. Alright. Next up, we got a dark gray 2x6. Cutting across there. A dark gray slope. 1x2 slope. Two more angled bricks. One there. One right there. And a wedge brick. Right there. eBay has an official position on the selling of souls as people have tried selling theirs online. Starting to enjoy Gundam Evolution? Well, that's good. I'm glad for that. Alright, lots of bricks. 1x3 and 2 1x4s. 1x3, 1x4, 1x4. 1x3 and a corner. Get a brick and a 1x3. I'm actually not at all surprised that they had to have a policy on that. I mean, to a certain extent, like, how do you police that? I never received the soul that so-and-so sold me. Another brick right there. 2 more bricks. 1x3. And let's get 2 1x2 plates. Right there and right there. Oh, and 2 1x1s with clips. There we go, and there we go. Alright, 1x2 with a single center stud and a brown 1x1 cylinder tile. Another brick. Just another brick in the wall. Corner, bricks, and a 1x3. Alright, 2 more dark gray 1x2 Technic bricks with pins. And the brown spacer. Followed by dark gray 1x1s. There we go. And finally, we grab another one of these green curved parts. There we go. Get a little bit of a grassy hill there. Alright, so we come on down, we get a brick over here. Dark gray 1x1. Dark gray 1x1. And a 1x4 plate. Right there. 1x2x3 slope and a 1x1x3 brick there. And, okay, a shorty brick and a black cylinder plate with a rod. And that goes that way. Let's get a gray corner brick. Right there. 1x4 and 1x3. Okay, and then 2 foliage pieces. One goes right there, and the other goes right down here. There we go. Alright. What's everyone's favorite candy? Oh, that is hard to say for me. Sweet tarts were always pretty high up there for me. I don't know if I'd say that they're my favorite. Alright, 1x2 plate with an angled arm rod. 2x2 plate, and another one of the plates with arms. And a second 2x2 plate. A black 1x2 brick. Half cylinder. A 1x2 with Technic axle hole. Cross axle hole. And then a 2x2 cylinder brick. And another half cylinder beneath it. Let's go ahead and get the red 2L axle and a 1x2 brick there. Alright, get a clip, 1x1 with clip, and a tap piece. Get that there. Get a little, got a little branch coming out kind of thing. Do that on each side. Tiny little branch. Make sure those are straight just in case. 1x2 half cylinder, and then a black 2x2 cylinder plate and a black 2x2 cylinder tile with a hole in the top. Get that on top of there. Alright. And that goes right on to the tree section. Right there. Your favorite right now is Fruit Chews by Tootsie Company. Oh, so here's something. The Altoids Sours, specifically the apple. So good. I would pop those things like candy. I had a friend who, I was like, come on, they're not that bad. Come on, they're not that bad. Really, they're not that bad. And finally she was like, okay, I'll try one. And she tried one, and you should have seen her face screw up just from the sourness. It's like, oh, it was a beautiful sight. It really was. I still, to this day, don't say that they're that bad. I don't think they're that bad. Okay. Let's get a double pin there. Are we making 2 of these? No, we are not. Okay. 1x2 with 2 Technic holes. And then get the little arms with the... These are friction pin sections, so they do not spin very easily. Get that on there. There we go. And then 3 more. Is she still my friend? Yes. Although I haven't spoken to her in quite a while. Because I haven't been on Facebook in forever. And a friction pin and another one of these. Okay, and so that goes right there. That is a very odd construction. We're going to do a second one mirrored. So we got 3 more, but going the other way. I have no idea what exactly this is for. And then a blue double friction pin, just like on the other side. Our 2 connector pieces and a 1x2 gray. Get in there. Technic brick with 2 holes. Get in there. Ah. Sometimes these pieces are very, very stiff. There we go. Back in high school, I loved shock tarts. Those were good. I got those out of the vending machine at school all the time. Same kind of thing. Very, very sour. Yeah, they were, weren't they? They were definitely more sour than the Altoid sours. There's this one candy that was sour on the outside and gum on the inside that would drop them into soda. I never did anything like that, mostly because I didn't like the taste. Although I did use strawberry Twizzlers as straws. Alright, we've got a pair of 1x4x2 panels. And then 1x2 Technic brick with 2 friction half pins inside. I don't know why we're using that rather than a more conventional 1x2 with side pins, but whatever. That is actually there, and we get a shorty brick right there. I remember them, but I don't think I ever had any. Oh, and we use another pair of panels on the other side. There we go. 1x4, 1x3, 1x4, and 1x4. There we go. Let's get these pieces over here. Okay, we get a shorty brick and a 1x1 plate with clip right there. That is going to connect those up. Alright. A capital piece, and we put a tile on top. Get that right there. I'm going to guess that this is going to go right in there like that, but we'll wait and see, just in case. Okay, and another 1x1 brick. 1x1x3s go on either side here. And pairs of dark gray 1x2 bricks go here. Okay, I am guessing that these are going to be runners for the portcullis. That's what the brown spacer pieces are. Alright, 1x3 plate over here. 1x2 plate over here. And the two 1x4 round top bricks. Making some nice false columns. Although, I would put something underneath there. Like, one of these would go under that one. Can't really get anything on the other underside of this one, unfortunately. But oh well. And what a fine stall for Our Lady's destrier. Methinks he would even fit in there wearing his caparison. Alright, so we use the ladder window piece, close it off. That is what the 1x1 cylinder is, to keep it from closing any further. Destrier, it's a type of horse. I don't know the specific definition on when that gets used. Alright, bag number 19 is coming up. We got a 1x1 dark gray tile and a brown 1x1 cylinder tile. Alright. So I think we'll do bag number 19, and then we will open minifigs. I like to open them at 9, or thereabouts. And I'd rather go a little bit after 9 than before, if I can. Alright, got a small bag there, and a small bag over here. Okay. So we got the head, hair, arms, body and legs. We've got the armor. We've got some other pieces that aren't being used right now. Let's get those over here. Alright, so we got his tabard, legs. He's got a part of his belt hanging down on his torso. Let's get his armor on. Need to put the arms down for that. His head, does he have... Nope, he just has the one face. Don't sit down, sir. Thank you. Why are their heads so tight after the first time you put them on? Jeez. Like, I couldn't even turn it. There we go. Alright, and then get his hair on. Alright, so he's got a nice breastplate. Let's get a nice zoom in on him. Maybe. Camera. Do you want to zoom? There we go. Happy guy with his mustache. Alright, let's go put him up there. And let's see. Alright, first thing is all of the arrow slits. That's 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, Alright. Arrow slit right there. Arrow slit right there. What, not using stairs to make the slits? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Alright, and 2 more of the side stud bricks. Yeah, your tastes change over time. Mine certainly have. There was a time when I could taste the difference between brands of milk, and I did not like certain brands of milk. These days, as long as it's 2%, I don't really care. Alright, we get a... for some reason, a... Oh, okay, I see. A shorty brick and a corner panel piece in there for some reason. I see that the shorty brick is to keep it on that height, but... let's see. Corner and a brick here. Hold on a second. Okay. That's right, I had forgotten about that. Alright. Shorty brick on this side. Shorty brick on this side. One by 4 here, and a pair of shorty bricks on either side of here. There we go. Okay, where are the inverted slopes? There's 1, there is 2. Alright, 1 by 3 and a single black 1 by 1 plate right there to complete the look of that. Couple bricks, and then the 1 by 2 brick for clipping in. Alright, that looks like it. Alright, we'll get a torch on the wall next to the gear. No idea what the gear is going to be for. Okay, let's see, what else? 2 1 by 2s over here. 2 1 by 2s here, and a 1 by 3 in the middle. I don't know why they didn't put a 1 by 1 brick there. It doesn't... I mean, it doesn't really make much difference, but it just feels weird. Alright, let's see. So, 1 by 4 and 2 1 by 3s over on the other side. There we go, and another brick. 1 by 3. A brick there, leaving that open. Another brick over here. Get a corner brick in the corner. 1 by 3 and a 1 by 4. As well as 1 by 1 dark gray plates to complete the arrow slits. And 1x3. And another dark gray 1x1 plate. There we go. Well, BB Guy, the Canadians seem to work just fine with bagged milk, so... I think if it didn't... I don't know exactly how it works. It has been explained to me, but I don't remember. But I think if it didn't work, they wouldn't still be doing it. So, I think it's just one of those... they do things a little differently. But it works just fine. Okay, get a couple parts there. They put the bags in pitchers, yeah. You get a craving for pink milk once a year. I don't even know what the heck that is. Alright, there's a nougat 1x4 or 1x6. Get a log brick there in the middle. Cylinder bricks on the ends. And 1x1s with side studs. Oh, strawberry quick. Gotcha. I've never had that. Alright, 1x1 plates with clips here in the middle. And the 1x2 plates with arms on the ends. There we go. And then a nougat tile. There we go. Alright, spear goes on one clip. And let's see, 1x1 cylinder plates with holes in the studs and 1x1 cones. Get those onto each of these. Helps if I do that right. Okay. What to choose, a sturdy armet or a nasal helm? I've always fancied a pointed hat. Of course he has. Of course he has. Alright, so we get the Norman helm there. Let's go ahead and make the Knight's helm in... So, gray helmet piece, standard helmet, and a... I'm not even sure what color that is, jeez. It's not dark gray. I guess it's milky silver. I guess the same as the armor, yeah. Alright. And let's get the feather on top. There we go. There we go. Put those there. And the lion rampant shields. Got some spare armor and equipment here for the warriors of the castle. Get in the hole, please. There we go. And that is going to fit back here, I do believe. Indeed it does. There we go. Alright, next up. Two 1x4 bricks there and there. Get a corner. And the start of another arrow slit that no one can actually reach. Couple bricks. And another 1x1 here. And of course, like, this arrow slit right here, no one can actually reach because it's over the ladder. This one is blocked by the equipment. This one can be reached, and this one can be reached. I guess maybe they're just there for letting in light. Maybe that's what it is. One by three, 1x3, and a corner brick right there. Alright, a headlight brick, and 2 short bricks. Making exactly 2 brick height. Right there. We get our dark gray 1x6x2 column. Another pair of the Technic 1x2s with the brown spacers. And 1x2x2 bricks behind it. There we go. And another headlight brick. And a shorty brick next to it. Displaying the height of a headlight brick on its side. Howdy, Cape Sword, how's it going? Alright, another 1x3 and a dark gray 1x1 plate. Get that right on there. Completing that arrow slit, which can be accessed by an archer. Cape Sword, gifting a sub to Nolden. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget that it is September, so gifted and purchased for yourself subscriptions are cheaper. I think 20% cheaper, if I remember correctly. So now is a good time to subscribe or gift some subs if that is what you're inclined to do. Alright, get another brick here, and a corner brick right there, and I need a 1x2 plate right there. Alright, and then the hinge plate right there. Actually, really close to the hinge brick, which is interesting. It's kind of unusual. Alright, next up. 1x3, 1x3. 2 dark gray 1x1s. And 1x1s with side rods, and those are going right into the Technic holes. Right there. Which is interesting. You miss LEGO? That looks like a lot of fun. Oh, this is a great set. It is on the expensive side, but I highly recommend it to anyone interested in LEGO. And then we use our dark gray capital pieces to give a nice look to that part, making a nice false column. Let's see, 3 1x4 bricks. And a brick there on the edge. 1x3 there, 1x3 there. And 1x4 and a 1x3 there. And brick right there. 1x1 with side stud, and get the 3-leaf plant piece right in there as well. There we go. And then the round top piece for crenellation. Okay, that's it. All right. This stone here seems too short to be a proper brick, though at the same time too tall to be a plate. Perhaps I'll call it a block. Don't you do this to me, Lego. Don't call it a block. It's a shorty brick. That's what it is. Okay, it's just shadow. I was like, these they look like they're different shades, but I think that's just shadow. Alright, a dark gray 1x1 tile right there. A couple more shorty bricks here and here. A dark gray tile right there. Shorty brick and a shorty brick. Okay. And that is it. Alright, next up. Get the arrow slits proper. There and there. And then on the other side as well. Which, again, are primarily for light, I think, because they're too high up for anyone to shoot out of. Maybe in times of war, they pile boxes up or something. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Two 1x3s and two 1x4s. 1x3, 1x4, 1x4, and a 1x3. And then 1x2 plates here and there. Here and there. There we go. And a 1x4 dark gray plate on top there. 1x3, 1x4, and 1x3. And then the round top pieces right here. They have one of those doggy gates. There we go. Get some crenellations up there. Alright, we get one of these Technic pieces with rod holes on the sides. An elephant trunk. And 2 leaves. That is going to be like that. I guess like that. Alright. Feed the 3-leaf piece through there. Oh, those are not. Wow, that moves freely. Alright, well, that's a thing. Get that stuck in there, in the elephant trunk piece, which I'm pretty sure is not used as an elephant trunk anymore at all. And that slides right in there. So we got a little tiny tree growing out there. And that is it for bag number 19. The brown bit across that bit of hallway, this one here, that's for the horse stable part. I'm surprised they didn't put like some something to feed the horse in there. Alright, so we got a black 1x1 cylinder plate with a hollow stud and a brown spacer as extra pieces. And let's go ahead and set this aside for the moment. Pull out the accoutrements for minifig predictions. Get our sheet out. I have 2 left. So I think we're going to open both of them. I think we're going to open both of them. And chuck the box over there. So you're thinking about buying the PDF for Older Spelljammer to get informed of how Old Spelljammer works if your DM wants to modify the new stuff. I highly recommend it. Number one, even if they don't, the Old Spelljammer, like, the Rock of Brawl in the new Spelljammer, it takes place in the exact same time. They didn't move the Rock of Brawl forward in time like they did with the Forgotten Realms. So you can basically use most of that old book 100% in the new material. So that's certainly a good purchase. The old box set has a lot of good stuff in it too, especially if your Dungeon Master wants to create their own Crystal Spheres, Wild Space Systems, whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and get a prediction going. Start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? We've got a Series 23 to open. No, B-R-A-L. B-R-A-W-L is from Hackjammer. And once we open one of these, we'll open the second one up there. So we have gotten the Snowman, the Elf Girl, the Robot Costume Girl, and the Ship Captain. I am really hoping to get a Knight out of one of these. Oh, it's down to 58 here. It feels really nice. I'm really happy. Alright, let me see if I can open my window without coughing again. I don't know why I was coughing earlier, but it may have gone away. There we go. Get some more fresh air in. Howdy, Sealan, how's it going? Alright, 50 seconds to go. Get your predictions in. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Is good. That is good. I'm glad to hear it. And howdy, young Hamarond, how's it going with you? Alright, 30 seconds to go. Get your predictions in. 51 degrees Fahrenheit there. Nice. It's going to warm up a little bit, but it's staying quite nice down here at this point, which I am happy for. I like that. About frickin' time. Alright, predictions are closed. Let me get my timer up. Not that timer, that timer. And go. Alright, what do we got? Alright, there is a round, flat piece. Feels like ears or something. Ah, okay. 15 seconds. It is the fairy girl. I felt the wings. Took me a moment to figure out what that was, but then I felt the other side. So, it is the little fairy girl. Let's go ahead and open that up. And there we go. Did I get the candy cane? I did not get the candy cane out. Candy cane, come on out. There we go. Alright, let's choose a prediction. Within 20 seconds. And let's check the summary. Alright, well, the bulk of the points was put on 20 seconds. So, Seal and Mortar and Bahamut taking the bulk. Of course, most of that is their own contribution. Archmage Afro, Ice Savan, Kinshir, and Kichikun also getting some hams there. Dracophile, BB Guy, and Lel Bunny doing some redistribution at 20 to 50. And no one doing any redistribution at 50 to 60. Anghamron and Lord Canis doing some redistribution at no. Alright, let's go ahead and make our little fairy child. Swipes the candy cane. Don't swipe my candy cane. It's rude. Let's see. We will make her very happy. The wings don't rest flush against the back, which is a little disappointing. Alright, and then we give her the candy cane. There we go. Alright, here is our little sugar plum fairy girl. If the camera will focus. 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 Focus, camera. Come on. I need a new webcam. I really do. Alright, let's try. Yeah, this way. Maybe if I go slowly, it'll focus. No, it does not want to focus. Alright. What is the problem? Is it trying to focus it on the... There we go. So she is very happy with her little fairy dress, little fairy wings with some swirls on the back. She's got little sprinkles decoration on her cheeks and feet, and it is very cute. And of course, she has a candy cane, and it comes with an extra little tiara. Some Tchaikovsky would help for that minifig, yes. Yeah. That size candy cane is a lethal weapon if you're grumpy enough. Oh, yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and mark her down. Okay, so we are going to do the second one. The final one in that box because I got more. So let's start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. A tiara for the castle if anyone has hair that can hold that. I don't know that they do. I don't know that they do. Alright, so there is a chance that this is going to be a duplicate. Although they seem pretty good about not getting duplicates in these boxes. We have not gotten a duplicate yet, so there's 7 possibilities if it is not going to be a duplicate. Obviously, the one that I want the most is the knight. That is the one that I want the most numbers of. That is one that I do not plan on giving away. I mean, I want them all, but I want multiple copies of the knight. By far. Not getting a lot of hams since someone put a ton of hams into the under 20. Yeah, that's always an issue sometimes. A sappy English Knicket? No, it's actually a little girl in there. Alright, we got 30 seconds to go. You're taking a huge risk with this. There's always a chance. There's always a chance. Alright, 20 seconds to go. Alright, just about closed. Get last predictions in. If you hurry. And there we go. Alright. Let's get to the timer reset. And go. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Something large. What the heck is that? Holy cow. Alright. Well, another 14-seconder. I will say that the costumes actually make it pretty easy to guess. I felt the tail on the turkey. So turkey tail, here we come. So sadly, no extra knights. I will have to commiserate with 6. But yep, there's the turkey tail. Is that it? That is it. My finest opening yet. Never has there been a better opened minifig bag. Alright, so 15 seconds. Oh, wow, yeah, 96% there. Alright, let's see. Bahamut Zero, Seal and Mortar, BB Guy, Isovan, Kinshir, all getting some hams. Not that many, though. Not that many. Dracophile, Kijikun, Lel Bunny doing some redistribution at 20 to 50. Anghamron doing some redistribution at 50 to 60. And no one choosing no. Sugar plums and a turkey drum sticking together at last. I hope you don't plan to eat this guy's drumsticks. I don't know that he'll like that. Alright, so we've got dual molded legs. No printing on them, just dual molded, so red feet, brown legs. We got the bird arms on the torso. You can tell the front, A, because of the white mark on the neck, or the head stud, and the extra line of feathers. It's turkey time. Let's go ahead and get the turkey tail feathers on there. There we go. Oh, we got an angry face and we got a happy face. He's going to be an angry face. He's going to be an angry turkey. There we go. He's come for his revenge. And we get our pumpkin. All right. And an extra foliage piece. You have eaten my brethren. I come to murder you. There we go. Turkey guy. Very angry. Here's his tail. Unfortunately, it's very flat there and doesn't look as good. You might be able to put something in those holes. I wonder. No, I don't think it's designed for that. All right, where did the feather go? There it is. These are interesting arms because they don't actually like have any hands. You can't have them holding anything. Turkey Man is coming for you. For your holiday shenanigans. He'll put you to sleep. Permanently. I don't know. I think these are... I mean, the arms are obviously not new pieces. They've been used in the other... bird minifigs. You can get them on Big Bird. But I think the head and the tail comb, or the tail feather piece, are all new. There we go. We've got an angry bird here. Go ahead and mark that down. Alright, what do we want to do next? I think we want to do a series 22. Work on finishing these up. How about this one? Let me get my sheet out. So we have gotten everything from this. We have not gotten duplicates of everything here. Let's start a prediction. Can Ald guess what is inside the minifig pack? Considers pumpkin pie a Thanksgiving side dish. Oh, he's got a pumpkin to throw at you too. You know, if you're the type that likes your pumpkin pie. Chance for more Pepper Girls for the Pepper Girl Army? I don't think so. I think we have actually gotten all of the Pepper Girls out of there. I don't think I opened them all, but I think I've gotten them all. I have gotten all of the Girl with Horse. I have not gotten all of the robots. I have not gotten all of the bards, and I wouldn't mind getting more of those. I think I've gotten all of the Winter Warrior. I believe I've gotten all of the Moon Knight. I'm pretty sure I've gotten all of the Raccoon Girl. I don't think I've gotten all of the Birdwatcher. Chocolate-covered pumpkin pie is main dish. I've never even heard of that. Just like Ald to give his stream the bird, a real turkey too. I'm not. No. He's mine. You can't have him. I'm not giving him to you. All right, 30 seconds to go. Get your predictions in. Stuffing is the big thing in my household, my family, for Thanksgiving. It's not my thing though. They have a ham on the table for me. All right, let's go ahead and get going. All right. Let's reset the timer. And let's go. All right. What do we got? What do we have? What do we have? Not helping me. That's the legs. That's the torso. That's the head, I think. What is this? What is this? This is a tiny piece, and I don't know. Might be the bard. I need some more. Yeah, alright. 35 seconds. It's the bard. I'm going with the bard. Am I correct? Yes, I am. The bard is mine again. By that I mean the second one. All right, choose prediction. Oh, 1% here. All right, 20 to 50. Complete that prediction. Let's check out that summary. Dracophile, BB Guy, and Lel Bunny getting the hams there. Dracophile, putting in 172 compared to 16 and 10. Wow, did that pay off? Wow, did that pay off? 172 to 21,000. Pretty nice. Bahamut Zero Dragon, Ice Savan, and Kinshir doing some redistribution at 20. Within 20 seconds. Anghamran doing some redistribution at 50 to 60. And Lord Canis and Seelan doing some redistribution at no. Very nice reward. Very, very nice reward. Big winner Dracophile. Oh, yes. Also, I can toss that aside. Breaking your 0 for 5 streak. You don't like stuffing, don't like ham much either, too salty? Don't like ham? That's okay. More for me. And I mean that, too. More for me. I will take your ham. We also get a magenta feather. And he can hold his crown. He can actually, you know what? Let's do this. He can use it to pluck the strings on his mandolin, or his lute, or whatever it is. It might be mandolin rain. I'm going to keep the other crown out as well. Let's put that in there. Alright, so we actually had this torso, I think, on one of the kids. The mandolin is on the guy in the lower, the forestman in the little cave area. So it's not totally unique. And we got another one of these hats as well. But the face is different. We get more of the crown pieces. And it's just a good figure to have. So you can toss a coin to him. You need that bard? It's a good bard. I'm really happy that they had it. Plus, he's got a classic forestman torso. So he is going to be strumming with his coin. Someone tossed a coin to him. Not to his witcher though. Oh, I got an extra coin. All right, you can have that then. There we go. All right, those are the minifigs. Go ahead and put these aside. Bring our castle back out. There we go. Okay, back to the castle. You're listening to a thing about a heist that happened in Canada where a warehouse of maple syrup got stolen because apparently Canadian maple syrup companies have a monopoly on it and only sell so much to keep the price down. I mean, to keep the price up. They're dudes in Canada selling illegal black market syrup. Yeah, I have heard about the illegal black market syrup. Alright, bag number 20. And we do have a small bag as well to open. Yeah, there's something similar in Vermont as well, or like their maple syrup competes against Canadian one as well, or something like that. Let's try to keep these pieces from falling on the floor, that's for sure. There we go. Alright, so we got a panel piece. I'm going to put that to the side. Large plate, 6x8. Another 6x8. A pair of brown 6x6 tiles. That's really nice. Got a chain, a couple chains. Can make a chain gang. There's chains in that bag, too. We've got some light blue flower pieces in here. That is lovely. Not sure exactly what those will be used for. Alright, let's see. Start off with 2 1x4 bricks. Go. And a brick here in the corner. Another brick here in the corner. Pardon me. 1x2 brick with side studs and 2 shorty bricks. Alright, looks like it. Next up. Okay, 1x12, 2 1x6 bricks beneath it. And a 1x8 beneath that. And that will connect up these. There we go. Alright, 1x3 and another shorty brick. And a 1x2 plate over here. Alright, I need an inverted slope. 1x4. And another brick. Yeah, they're just using, rather than giving us regular 1x2 bricks, they're just using the bricks for that, for all of that. 2 more over here. And a 1x3. Right there. Where's the Swedish chef? He could chase the turkey guy around. He could. He could. He's up there. I'm not going to go get him at the moment. Alright, and dark gray arches. And we get a second one on either side, half arches. And these are the smaller half arches. A pair of bricks. And 1x3 bricks. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, 2x3 and 2 1x2s for the other side. There we go. Cover that. And a pair of inverted slopes. And dark gray 2x4 to connect up these arches. There we go. Alright, 1x2 plate. 1x2 with side studs. Where are you? There you are. And a gray 2x3. There we go. There we go. Nice background tune. Yeah, it kind of works for the aesthetic of what we're building here. All right, brick and a 1x3. There we go. Okay, we get a 1x6, 1x3, and a brick. And another pair of half arches. Smaller than the classic half arch. Okay, 1x1 dark gray plate and a 1x4. There we go. And a second one on the other side. There we go. 1x3 and a brick. behind this arch. Okay, and what do we get? 2 bricks and a 1x3. Three right there, and another shorty brick. There we go. Are the new races added in 5e Spelljammer in Old Spelljammer? Not exactly. GIF are from there, and if you want the races from 2e, you want the Complete Spacefarer's Handbook. That has all of them. Let's see. So Astral Elves are functionally a complete reboot and complete change from what the Elven Imperial Navy was in original Spelljammer. So we got 3 black 2x2 cylinder bricks. Plasmoids are not a playable race, although there are plasmoids. They are from that originally, kind of imported from Star Frontiers. But the 5e plasmoid, the only thing that it really shares with 2e plasmoid is that they're amorphous and called plasmoid. That's really it. No, plasmoids were not playable. One of them weighs a ton, literally. Or more. You have 3 plasmoids in 2e, but only 2 of them are intelligent, or like civilized. You have the Degleesh and Delnorix. They're very different. The GIF are in Complete Spacefarer's Handbook. There are some differences, though, because they're, like, large, for one thing. That's one of the differences. And Thri-kreen don't show up as a playable race in 2e. They do show up as a race in Spelljammer, but only in, like, subsequent material, not in the core material. But there is a Thri-kreen related race called Zixchill. And Hadazee also show up in Complete Spacefarer's Handbook. But they look fairly different because they have a muzzle. Like a long muzzle, either, you know, sort of like a cross between a dog and a baboon. Oh, and we need a 2x2 cylinder plate and a 2x2 tile on top of that. There we go. Get that on there. Is that? Yep, there we go. Yeah, they were more bestial rather than just standard great ape chimpanzee type faces. Like, that's one of the things that I don't like about some of the things that they did in 5e Spelljammer is, like, Dowar are obviously penguin-related, penguin-adjacent, but they're not penguins. Like, if you look at them in the 2e art, they're obviously similar to penguins, but they're not just penguins. Same thing with Hadazee. In 5e, they're not even great auks, because for one thing, they have teeth. And there's other differences as well, but 5e Dowar just look like cuddly penguins, and they don't look like cuddly penguins in 2e. They don't look mean, but they're clearly not just terrestrial penguins, but sapient kind of thing. And then on Hadazee's side, they basically just look like large chimpanzees with skin flaps in 5e. They're obviously apes in 2E, but they don't look like any terrestrial ape. And I really do like that about 2E, is that they tried to make these races their own thing, not just a terrestrial thing, but intelligent kind of thing. But there's a lot more races in 2E Spelljammer as well. You got Lizardmen, you've got Herwady, which didn't even make it into 5E, which is a shame because they're really cool. Skro are out for obvious reasons. They didn't bring over Zixchill. Drakons they didn't bring over. What else? There's one or two. Rastipedes they didn't bring over. I'm not surprised they didn't bring over Insectair. They didn't get much development. To be fair, neither did Herwady, but they got a little bit more. Another couple tile slopes here. And let's get these 1x3s. So there's a lot of 2E races that you could port into 5E Spelljammer if you wanted to. There's also some that weren't playable races, like Gravs. What happens with vampires or werewolves in space? Werewolves are covered. Basically, their cycle fits whatever planet they're infected on, and if they're not infected on a planet, then they just have a 30-day cycle. Kind of arbitrary. Or it could be tied to something else, some other trigger, which is up to the Dungeon Master. Alright, here we go with these large plates. Most undead with light sensitivities aren't assumed to have a big problem in space, even though there is essentially ever-present light. Just because it's fantasy and you don't need to assume that things work the same way as they would in real life. As I say at the very beginning of the 2E Spelljammer book, everything you know about space is wrong. Alright, a few brown tiles, and now we are going to make the drawbridge. Ah, that's what these tiles are for. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, so the 1x6 dual dual inverse slope, 1x4 plates, and a gray 1x4 half tile. Then we do 4 of these. I don't know why, like, we've got these. I don't know why they're using 4 of these when they could be using 2 of the others, but maybe that'll be obvious. Alright, and then brown 1x6s. Yep, just right on top of the 1x4s. And then a pair of corner plates. I suspect the appearance changes are because so many of the audience are creators are familiar with common animal aesthetics. So no protagonist can be ugly, gods forbid. Yes, but like Doar aren't ugly in 2E. They're different. They're not cuddly penguins. Like, they're not cuddly in 2E, but they're not ugly. And I would go so far as to say that I consider the 5E Hadizee uglier than 2E Hadizee. If you're going right for that, I prefer their aesthetic. Like they look really good, and they're certainly not ugly. But yeah, I think that part of it is just, you know, there's a lot of people who would just like to play anthropomorphic animals, which is fine. But I don't know. It's just like it just feels like it takes the individual the individuality of the races and just tosses it out the window to me. Alright, let's see. 1x1 cylinder plates and a couple of 1x2 tile slopes. Like, there is a thing about, like if you look at Aarakocra, setting aside the 5e Aarakocra, setting aside the fact that they now have 6 limbs rather than the 4 limbs of the classic, they're kind of set up to just be whatever animal type you want, like whatever bird type you want. They could be hawks, they could be blue jays, they could be, you know, anything else under the sun. But that also means that they're no longer, like, a species, if that makes sense. Couple more 1x6 plates. Like, the old races were all intended to be species. Now they're more like archetypes. Dang, this is really thick. This is really thick. Well, I'm talking about aesthetics, not and nothing else. I don't know enough about the 5e rules. Although I've certainly heard that they have problems. But even in 2e, I mean, they're supposed to be a challenge. They are a challenge to play, and they're supposed to be a challenge. Alright, and let's see. Are all of the chains the same length? I think so. Because I think we would be getting a separate thing if they were not. Like a... Yeah, alright. They're all the same length. Like, you're not creating... Like, D&D doesn't set out to create an alternate world anymore. An alternate real world, shall we say. Which was kind of what the assumption was back in the day. We're gonna get a pair of dark brown plates there, and now we put on our brown tiles for the actual drawbridge portion. Alright, let's put that there, because we got a thing to make for the top. Let's see, we got a connector. There it is, black connector. I'm not even sure what these pieces are called. They're 4L axles, but there's just a cylinder part on the cross axle. Go, and then Get the black Technic bushings. Ooh, shoot. Uh-oh. That fell on the floor. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. There it is. No, don't fall. Don't go under the table. Hold on a second. All right, got it. See, I feel like if there's a if you're setting up a game system to have like a generic bird person, rather than call them Aarakocra, rather than give them a name, call them generic bird person. Because if that's what they are, if they're just supposed to be a generic thing that you can just put whatever whatever features you want on them, avian folk, whatever, but just a generic name as opposed to give them what amounts to a species name. So we got white half pins, and then the old harpoon pieces. Although they're actually heavily modified from what the old harpoon pieces would have been. And these are going in there, and that is very tight. And we connect the second chain to each one of these. That in there. There we go. There we go. All right. And then we attach these like that. Don't mention the ravens. It may make all cry to know the fate of Kenku. I mean, I know. I'm not sure what you're talking about in terms of the Kenku. I know they became playable. No, actually, Kinshir, Athasian Aarakocra are vulture folk. There's a separate creature that's a pterosaur, Terran, actually. But the Athasian Aarakocra are, they look like vultures. They're now mockingbird raven folk that can't fly. Okay, so we are sliding this. Oh my lord. Alright, I need to turn this whole thing so I can get this in. Okay, how does... There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Okay. Got it in, and it basically works. And they wanted it specifically this way so that the countermeasure would bring it back down like that. And only, like, you have to... so that it would have a weight on the back. Removes a lot of flavor from the races. Well, yeah, but see, that's the other thing is, like, when you have flavor, then you risk problems. You risk people complaining about that flavor. Just look at Hadazee. Alright, let's go ahead and hang that down there for now. There we go. Get that turned around. Okay, next up. Watch thyself on yon bridge, lest ye be cast into the dungeon. Ah. Oh, no, I'm not done, because I gotta do this. Alright. So this will go right here, the panel. And get 2 1x1 plates on either side. Let him complain. Oops. I mean, one thing that I feel like has been lost in D&D these days is the idea that get a corner tile, 1x4 tile right there. It's just like the idea of the company that makes the game doing some of the work for you. There we go. So it does, you can... This is actually pretty neat. So if there is someone... Oops. On the drawbridge, and they'll slide down into the dungeon. That is a neat little playable element of it. Like, anyone can change what the default is, but if you give the game a default, then there's like this element of you're creating expectations for the for player, not expectations, but there's an element of, like, if you go sit down at a game and the Dungeon Master doesn't say, by the way, our elves are different, and you can assume that the elves are a certain way. Same thing with dwarves, same thing with halflings, you know, etc., etc. And that's a big advantage of the kind of shared world gaming that D&D kind of entails. Howdy, Renclaw, how's it going? And, you know, it also means that there's a lot less work that a Dungeon Master has to do setting up their world and everything like that. I was not expecting that. I was expecting... I wonder what's going to go right there, then. You know, and again, if a Dungeon Master wants to do that work, you know, that's great. More power to them. But if they don't want to do that work, then there should be that material already there for them to use. And I feel like D&D has gotten away from that. Having some of the work already done for you. And it just makes so much of it flavorless. Like, it's all mechanics now, and no flavor. And that, I think, is a real shame. Alright, let's get this using this dual inverted slope, and get that. Actually, oops. Get the 2x4 there, and then these 2x4s, and a 2x6 on top. And there we go. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about building characters now, just, ugh. To me, it's just, ugh. I don't like it. Alright, we get our larger slow half arches here. And a gray 1x4 plate there. Okay, we're just using regular arches, but again, no one can actually do anything with these. They can't shoot out these windows or anything like that. And a brick up here. There we go. I mean, I know I'm a crotchety old man and everything when it comes to this stuff, but I don't know. It just feels like there's so much less out there now. Get more corner bricks here and here. Also, there's a lot of simplification going on, like just in terms of like how things are thought of. Just thinking about how some people were describing the Spelljammer races, and someone described Gromam as gorillas, humanoid gorillas, which really misses the point because, for one thing, they're more orangutan than gorilla. Get these nice arches here for a nice double arch. I'll show that off in a second. Let's see. So I really like what they did here. That looks really nice. The only downside is there's a little bit of light gray right there. If they could have changed that to dark gray, that would be perfect. But you got this real nice double arch. Kind of inset arch, which is always nice when they do that. Yeah, they're outputting far less, and I think a lot of that is because they don't want to pay people as much. And they are relying on DM's Guild to do a lot of the work. Like, I really do feel that there was a decision with the Spelljammer to not put in ship combat because they just figured that people on DM's Guild would make it. And if they did it, there's a lot of people who wouldn't use it, and they could put other things in the book, which really they didn't put that much else in the book. And I think that was the thinking there, of basically just, hey, we can do this without spending as much money, which is a shame. I don't think that's a good look. You want to be that bright ray of hope for the game. Alright, so we are putting this one into that hole. There we go. Why are these not turning? That is very tight. Let's just clip that together, and it's just really tight. Does that push down? Yeah, that feels about what it's gonna do. Alright, and then... okay, we get another one. 2 more blue flowers. And another green leaf piece. Okay. So we got this nice vine with blue flowers on it. I really like how that looks. It's kind of like how you can get new D&D books on Drive-Thru RPG. They don't want to risk people... you can't get them on Drive-Thru RPG. They don't want to risk people sharing the PDFs. Yeah, it's... I mean, they do at least have them available through... This disconnected here, through like D&D Beyond and stuff like that, but yeah, the idea that people are gonna share them is like they're gonna share them anyway. All right, let's see, 2x8 and a 1x4 half tile and a brown 1x2 tile. And a 1x8 in there. And a 3 1x3s over here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that is wrapping up this level. We've got a dark gray 1x1 plate, dark gray friction half pin, a light blue flower piece, foliage piece, a milky silver harpoon piece, a black Technic bushing, and a black friction pin. Those are the extra pieces. Alright, so we have, we do not have this connected up yet. And so basically, it's a system where you... Oops. So basically, you rather than, like... it's... The standard LEGO castle design has been that you wind it up and you pull the drawbridge up, because it'd be attached there and it would draw it up like this. This is... You unwind it to... Like, you roll it up to lower the drawbridge. Which is a really neat design, really. It's a really neat design. I like how they did that. I wonder if Middle Ages engineers could have rigged something like that? Yes. I'm pretty sure that this is a reasonably historical design in that regard. Alright, so we got, there's going to be some structures right here, but it's a pretty big gatehouse, really. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a portcullis back through there as well. And just like the side entrance, we also have... Oops, don't want to move that. We also have a double arch here, which is pretty cool. And they did a really nice job with the all of that section in there. So I'm really really enjoying this build so far, and looking forward to the next steps. It is possible that the next stream is gonna wrap this one up. And because we got through what, 26, although we had, let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5. Yeah, I might have to go a little bit long, but I think that will wrap it up next time. So this has been fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the next steps. I've got bag number 21, another minifig to make, and this just looks very, very nice. So let's go ahead and close this up for a second and get a bit of a review. So the nice vines with the blue flowers. The double arch there is pretty nice. Nice little cave through here with some bats in it. Very nice. The rear stairs. I still don't like the exposed brick there. I think I might put some pieces in there to make a full step. I'm surprised they didn't. It might not come fully up there. I'll have to look at that. It might be difficult to get in there, but I would at least like to put a tile there, because just having the stud out like that exposed, don't think that's good. I don't like that. Like, it would have only been one piece, one tile, or a shorty brick and a tile or something like that to hide that. But I do like the stairs here, and then coming down here to this little dock. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And we got a lot of stuff going on with these tree parts, the hidden cave cache with forestman stuff, and the escape section from the dungeon. That's pretty cool. And then on the inside, let's go ahead and open this back up again. So we got our little treasure chamber, some spare equipment, the stall for the horse, and the dungeon. So that's pretty nice. I definitely do like this a lot. All right, so that is going to wrap us up for this stream. An upper story stall for Smith. Exactly. So that's going to wrap us up for the stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We will be back next week for more of the Lion Knight's Castle next Friday. We will be back tomorrow for more Spelljammer. We'll be back on Monday for more Breath of the Wild. Wednesday, more retro gaming, still playing Arcana, and then some Wednesday evening Lego building, which will not be this. And then, of course, back on Friday for Minecraft, and probably wrapping this up. It has been a great build, and I am looking forward to finishing it. It is a very, very, very good castle. This is definitely the best castle LEGO has ever made. So, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I really do appreciate that, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. And I will see you next time. See you then, everyone.